it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I am going to stitch out, we're going to do this today, September's Table Topper, and it's so cute. I did the prep video last night, and I think we posted it this morning, and I just haven't been on my game because I want to do all the inner and outer border with one piece of fabric. Hi everyone. I want to do it, you know how we did the last one? This is August. And it's still not trimmed and it's still not finished, but I just want to show you to get so you have the idea. It's so much easier if you leave it all in one piece and then stitch it, because you're not dealing with all of that batting, getting stuck, and all this silly stuff. So, but last night I think I was just, there are days where I drive to the store and I get there and I don't even remember my drive. That's kind of like my prep video last night. I just kind of did it. Good afternoon. I just kind of did it. And then when I was done, I was like, I don't even really remember it. But this morning when I was going through all my stuff, I was like, why did I do that? That's not what I wanted to do. So I looked through my stuff to see if I had enough to lay down, and I don't. Like, I just had this one piece, which maybe I could do two pieces. And then, hi everyone. So good to see you here. But I think I can just squeeze enough out to do the inner borders with this. And if I can't, then I'll just go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. I feel hearts and love for all of you too. You've really helped me get through the last couple of weeks. So I'll just leave it at that, because you don't want me to cry. I'm done crying. I'm on to bigger and better things. Oh my God, my hair just got caught in the filming arm. Okay. So all my stuff is pre-cut, and I'm so bummed about it because like I said, I really wanted it to. I'm confused. This looks really thick. I don't think they're all supposed to be that thick. 2.5 by 18. All right. These here. Oh, there's my little innards. There are my innards. All right, looks like we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. And that's okay, too, because if you haven't done this, then the old-fashioned way is a good way to do it. And then we'll just, you know what? I hate changing things up on you. I don't want to do it the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way is a drag. And the old-fashioned way is doing every strip separately. I'm going to bring some more fabric from home. I'll go ahead and do that later. Let's do the fun stuff. You guys know I hate doing the strips and the borders and the inners and the outers. Anyways, we're going to have fun, and let's do the fun stuff. Let's just, and I hope you guys are stitching with me, or that you're working on something. I don't know what you're working on today. Some of you turn me on when you're at work. And then, I know some of you are working on it. There's so much to work on, right? I was working on Falling into Autumn this morning. I've been struggling with my sojo. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but I was struggling a little bit with my sojo over the past couple of weeks. And, but I find that I get started, I'm good. I just need to I need to break that seal. I need to get that ball rolling down the hill. This is like how we should be doing our borders. Not cutting them and then cutting them when we're all done. And I think what I'm going to do from now on, because we have September, October, November, December, and those are the cutest ones of all. I'm just going to do them like this, 14-inch, and then cut them down, because it just makes it easier. Just throw it in the hoop and do them all at once. I did stitch this out this morning. Go team! So there's this, and I mean, that was really cute. I did it because I was like, I need something fast. And I'm just going to use this same hoop. Didn't have any more muslin. So, trying to get motivated to make life. I love Life is Better in Full Bloom. I love it so much. It's sitting there in blocks and it hasn't been sewn together. But that one is really, really, really cute. Really cute, really sweet. So I ran out of muslin, but I had this icky fabric in my stash, and I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like dirty white fabric. It looks like dirty cream fabric. I was like, that's perfect. I'm just going to use that because I don't want to use it for anything else. And you don't have to use muslin. You could just use like whatever's in your stash. Just anything, but like if you're stitching cotton, you should stick with cotton. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I might have to open this up a little bit. Yeah, use the icky stuff. But I like to use like the light colors. And I don't like to use anything too thick. I just stick to quilter's cotton that maybe I'm not excited about, not totally jazzed on. Hey, I'm going to put this down here. And I was doing my last class, I was doing, well, not my last class, my last video, I was using the camera a whole bunch. And I know there's some people that still haven't used their camera, so I'm going to use my camera for this. And then I'll just take a picture to make sure that that top part isn't in my view. Because I don't want you to be afraid of your camera. And, I don't know, sometimes I prefer it to my projector. That is ready to go. It's the getting started struggle. The struggle is real. It's totally real for me. Is the double-sided fusible the Misty Fuse? Okay, I had no Misty Fuse, and that sent me into a panic too. Like, these are the things, the staples that I like to have. Fortunately, I had a Steam a Seam Light. Like, I don't like to use the, I don't like to, there I am. Let's go ahead and touch that. I don't like to use, I was loading this in and playing around with this before we got started. But I don't like to use like regular Steam a Seam. I like Steam a Seam Light. We're going to be collaging today, which is so fun. When I looked at the pattern yesterday, I was like, ooh, this looks like collage. Because we did that in one of our Kimberbell projects last year. And it was super, super fun. Sorry for not starting on the borders. Sometimes I just try to be like easygoing and like, I'm just going to go with it. And then I can't. My brain won't let me. I was like, I'm just going to go with my brain. It's like, no, you are not. You are going to get the fabric and lay it down all in one piece and stitch those inners and outers like that. And then I have this internal argument. And like my anal side usually wins. I try to be like, you know, easygoing, and then it doesn't win. My anal side usually wins. Okay, I don't know if you guys have those internal dialogues where you're like, I'm gonna be loosey-goosey and go with the flow. Or maybe you are like that and you want to be like, I want to be more precise and I want to be, and then you can't do it. We are doing this one right here. That is the block that we're going to do. I like to, and I was looking this over. I redid this. And so I sent it out. If you're on my Cuties 2 list, I redid this because I added some suggested colors to the bottom. I had written in here, I had the wrong name of the block in here, but this one's Core Curriculum. And I added this because I didn't realize we needed to add double-sided sticky fusible web to the back of the red apples. You can use Decor Bond Light, Steam a Seam Light, Misty Fuse is my favorite. But what I love about Misty Fuse is it's like, it's so delicate and fine, but it has like a really good stick. And I usually have packages of it, and I just couldn't find it last night. So I did this Steam a Seam Light, which is fine. And that was like the first thing I did. I know the directions on Steam a Seam Light say to just press it, but I usually give it a, you know, like an iron. I do iron it down on one side. And then it's ready to go on the other. But you can just follow the instructions. So we're going to do geometric. I'm already hooped up in my 6x10. And I've got all my goodies here. Alignment is centered. And from the very first one, I've learned that we have to see, are you going to do your quilting before or after? Stitch the quilting design on top. They're going to try and trick you. Don't let them trick you. And you might want to go through here and highlight it. But it wants the quilting after. We're still going to lay down the batting. We're still going to lay down the background fabric. We're going to skip the quilting stitch. And then you need to remember to go back and do it at the end. Have the conversation. Yeah, I talk to myself all the time. Forgot about. No, and no worries if you're late. And you can work on anything. We're just hanging out. We're just friends stitching together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my design first. And this is like, I do this for you so it's one-stop shopping. We're going to do, is that what it's called? Center Apple. Center Apple is the first design. So quilting and PES, and I want Center Apple, which is probably going to, wait a minute. This isn't right. March and May. Okay, we need the other one. Wait, go back. Go back. We need cuties July through December, but we need the quilting. Cuties quilting bundle. Do I have another one? Oh, I added them here. Here we go. So I just put them directly on here. I think I was probably panicking one day. I like doing, you can do these in the 5x7 hoop, but I really prefer to do this 6x10 because they don't give you the full outline stitch in your 5x7. This one they do, so you have something, a better guide to fussy cut that block. So if you have the hoop that does it, if you have a 6x10, I'd go 6x10. Or, 7x12, 8x12, but do choose the 6x10 design. If all you have is a 5x7, use that. There's nothing wrong with that. Frame size, good habits, choose your frame size. 6x10. I got on my block stand, cheated on the apples, and used a variegated, yeah, I thought about that, Cindy. I was like, I love the collage, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. And so I thought, ooh, maybe I could just choose one of these to use. So we'll talk about that too. So I'm going to go ahead and set this. We have to add the design. And we are going to add Cuties 2. And it's this one right here, the geometric. So go ahead and add that. Set. And we're combined, and it is centered. So you don't have to move anything around. Don't move it on this page. Touch embroidery. That will combine your design so you can move them as one. Do your layout, move, and scoot it. Well, my hoop's not on yet, so it will scoot outside of my embroidery field. Let me slide my hoop on first, which includes pulling the latch down. And now I'm going to scoot it up, and you're going to notice it won't go past that top line. It gives you a knock knock. Says that's as far as you can go, mister. Okay. I'm going to go to this button right here where I can go forward and backward stitches. It's going to show you right here that we're going to do a placement line. As far as color goes, these are the colors that I selected. Aren't they great? So these are my colors. I added that to the list. So you should have that too. We'll make changes as we see fit. And let's go ahead and let's do our placement line. Oh, I wanted to put a color thread in first. Usually I'll look and see what's coming up. And the first thing that's going to come up is this blue, and I am using denim. So let me get my denim. Denim, so beautiful. I love denim. I love jeans. I wear jeans like in the wintertime almost every day. I don't know if anyone's like me. Patrick never wears jeans. He doesn't like them. I had all the jeans. I had acid wash jeans. I pay extra now for jeans with holes in them. Distressed jeans. Black jeans. White jeans. Guess jeans. Oh, remember when you had Guess? That's all I wanted. Okay, let's do the placement line. Oh, wait. All right, the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the camera. But this is a great mini lesson. If you look right here, even though it hasn't stitched this stitch yet, it's at stitch number 1. Oh, wait. Wow, I thought it wasn't going to let me use the camera because it won't. Let me see. I'm going to go out of here. See how it won't let me use the projector? And all of this is grayed out. That's if you're at stitch number 1. You always have to be at stitch 0. Apparently, you can use the camera anytime. Oh, no, you can't. So, if you've ever been in here, you've tried to use some of these things and it won't let you, that's why. So we're just going to go back to this button where you can go forward and backward stitches, and I'm going to hit 0. It's going to take me to stitch 0. Now I'm going to use my camera. I'm just going to make sure that that fabric at the very top isn't in the way, and then I'm just going to hit scan. That's how easy it is. Don't get your two cameras confused. You have two cameras. You have real camera view, live camera view where I could put my hand like under where the needle is and it would show it. And then you have the other camera on the right hand side. That's the one that I use, that I love. And we're just going to confirm that that yellow fabric at the very top is not going to be in the way. And you can just barely see it, but you can see it, which means I need to snug this down just a little bit. So I'm going to hit close. And look, there's my image back there. Off. Then I can bring it back again. There, and it's just the fabric, just the cream, off and on. That's how you bring it back and turn it off. That's on the Luminaire and the Solaris. It's gonna be different on the Destiny Dream Machine. All of those, you have to stitch the design to completion, and the picture will automatically disappear, or you need to go into your settings to turn it off. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to snug it down just a little bit, because I can see that white fabric the yellow fabric right up there. So let me just move it down just a little bit. And that's a little lesson on how to use your camera. Use it. It's so incredible. Okay, I'm going to go back here and now we can see it. The first time Sandy Gifford and I, who worked at the shop, we used the camera. We were like, oh my God, it's so incredible. And then we couldn't figure out how to turn it off. We're like, how do you turn it off? While it's stitching, I'm going to spray. You are never going to believe it. I got a new spray box. I got rid of my dirty, hairy-chested spray box. I just felt bad that you had to look at that I was like assaulting your eyes and your mind every time. So I got rid of it. And I'm okay with it. Out with the old, in with the new. This is, you should have this, I think 5, I put 5 1/4, but like 5 inches too. Spray the bumpy side. I love KK100. If I wasn't married to Patrick, then I would marry Momo, and then I would marry my KK100. Whoop, that was a lot. I try not to spray a ton. Is that Poppy? Oh, it is? Okay. Do you have a question?
It's just a door.
Patrick is saying Momo is so cute. Poor Momo. Like, he's got, like, favorite spots to lay. Like, he sleeps in my closet. There's, like, an AC vent in there. Because it used to not be a closet. It was part of the room. And then they changed it. Now, Poppy has taken it. She's so mean. I wonder if that's going to be in the way at all. Hi, Miss Alice. Why I couldn't get the projector or camera to work. Thanks for the info. Nice. I will see you later. I know, because I've done that too. I'm like, why won't it work? And I don't know how I figured it out. I can tell you I didn't read it in the instructions because I don't do that. I'm more apt to just push some buttons. Okay, next step. We're going to skip. This is the batting tack down. That's the background placement, and that's the background tack down, and we are going to do that. Just in case, I know it shouldn't be in the way, but I'm going to fold that out of the way just to make sure. And this is okay that that thread is showing. It's kind of nice because it's easier to fussy cut than if you pick like a tone on tone. Like when I do white on white, it's hard to cut. Miss Rolo, why did you need a new spray tent? What happened to your old one? Something happened? What's that little spray box called? Well, are you talking about this dime spray tent? So the spray tent's called a dime spray tent. They're $25. We sell them on the website for $19.99 or $20. Remember, quilting, that's what shows. We're doing that last. So don't do it now. We're going to skip to the next step. If you don't know how to get there, it's this button. This goes minus and forward stitches. They showed like the needle with stitches. And you can go by ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, backwards, forwards to 0. Or just hit these and you're going to go to the next spool color. Down is the next color. That is back to the previous. Here we go. They do want you to use navy for this. So go ahead and do this. And we are going to spray our fabric pieces. Oh. Can you believe that didn't, my sensor didn't go off. It didn't stop. I took this out for some reason. I was on autopilot. Let's go back to the beginning of that. This will go back to the very beginning of that color. If I hit it twice, it'll go to the previous color, but it'll go to the beginning of that step. Anytime that happens, if your sensor doesn't work, if you are stitching and you're like, wait a minute, that didn't tell me I didn't have thread in there. My first thought is it's probably dirty. So you've got sensors in there and it didn't. I probably need to do a little clean out in there. Okay, here's we're gonna do one of these. Maybe we'll do 2 of them. So here are pieces. You should have shape flex on the back of these, and that's fusible woven. And we have decided to bring Kimberbell Stabilizer into the store. So if you've been loving Kimberbell Stabilizer, but you weren't able to get it, we'll have it in the store and we'll do like a special. Maybe we'll do a special because it's just coming in. Okay, let me get my spray tan. I don't read instructions either. If you hit enough buttons, eventually. I totally relate, Alice. Although, Alice, you strike me as the type that would read instructions. But, it's too much busy work, right? We don't have time for that. Okay, I'm going to lay these down. Just a little. You don't need a whole lot. And I really thought that big green piece, I don't know. We just need a little stripe of it, so I'm thinking it was like wasteful. I don't like waste. And then I told myself, no complaining. Who wants to hear a complainer? Okay, lay that down. Like when Patrick does the laundry, right? I need to just be like, oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't have to do it. But then when it's like still, he didn't get the stain out. I'm like, thank you, but you didn't get the stain, right? Why do I have to say that? Why can't I just be thankful and not complain? What's wrong with me? Okay, so we did the placement line, we laid down our fabric, and now we're doing the tack down line. Tack down line is step number 2, and then it says trim the fabric close to the stitch line. I love the way Kimberbell does their stuff because they're so clear with all of their steps and their instructions. So here's step number 2. That was the tack down, and then it also shows you the trimming right here. So you can always find what step we're on with the picture, the corresponding picture too. Whoop, that's Patrick. I'm not going to answer that. I think he's calling just to tell me he's on his way home. Close to stitch line. If this works, then my snips are my number 1 choice, and then I like my double curved scissors. And these are, I've been using these the most. They're the Havels, and they're a little bit longer, a little bit stronger than my Femoris. I still use my Femoris too, when I can find them. There we go. Okay, now it's going to do the decorative outline. It wants you to have that navy in. I'm using denim. And then we're going to do the placement for the green stripe. I couldn't decide. I was like, should I go more muted or brighter? I'm going to go bright. So I'm using lime. It's my next color. I haven't been looking at the screen. Let me read your messages. This is how bad a mom I am. I didn't even, I kept the proofs for my kids' senior pictures. My kids aren't really like super sentimentalist about stuff. I mean, I got my senior pictures, but you know, I never really looked at them. And then I called a good friend who does photography in the area, and I was like, well, maybe she can do pictures for my kids. My kids didn't want to do it, so I have no senior pictures. I didn't like, if anyone hasn't been to a graduation recently, they don't allow you to bring a camera in, which I think is complete BS, because they take the picture and then they want you to buy it from them. But come on, like, I didn't like that at all, because I brought my camera in, I had to run it back to my car. Okay, I'm going to put my next color in lime, and so I have no senior pictures of my kids, and they don't want to go take any. I might insist, maybe over Christmas when they come home. We have like 10 million pictures from when they were little. We did them like every year. I was like, what are we doing? We have so many pictures, we don't even have places to hang them. So I can't wait for the kids to move out, have their own place. I'm going to give them everything. I'm going to be like, here, surprise! Merry Christmas! Okay, now we're going to put the top part down. So this is your placement line. Oh, sorry! Hang on, let me kick them out. 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 So yours definitely should have had, so Kim, send me an email and I'll send you the designs, and I'll reach out. That's strange. We'll see what happened. But I'll send you what's on the USB, so you'll have it. And then I'll reach out to Kimberbell. Okay, this is directional, so you kind of want this to go on straight. Maybe I'll line it up with that top line. And go ahead and stitch that down. We're going to stitch it down, and then we're going to, well, this is the tack down, then we're going to trim it close to the stitch line. So Kim, send me a note, and we'll deal with that tomorrow when I'm at the store. Carol, you and Alice should be friends. I think you would love each other. You both make me laugh. It's so hard to believe we are stitching September. I can't even believe it's September. How did that happen? How did my kids become seniors already? I feel like it was just yesterday. Well, not just yesterday, but it does. It goes really, really fast. I'm hoping the next year will go really, really fast. Okay, close to the stitch line. What I love about these is I love that you just pinch your fingers together. You're not dealing with anything else. So I think they're easy on the hands. I didn't realize that when I, in my 50s, I would start to feel things. You know, my hands are a little stiff in the mornings. So anything I can make it easier on my hands, I like to do. All right, now you are going to, we are on step number 6, and we're going to do the decorative outline. So just go ahead and hit start. It's going to do the decorative outline. We're going to leave that same green in. You can change it if you want, but we're going to do that center part down here, which I feel like we should have cut like one piece, right? Why are we doing this? This is so wasteful. That we need this for that centerpiece. We could have just cut one long piece that was, oh my God, I'm complaining again. Does anyone else feel the same way though? Where's my ruler? Does it have to be on the bias? It's not in, we've shape flex on it. Doesn't make a difference. From this corner to this corner. So I'm betting if you just have one 7-inch square, you could have just used that. You could just laid it down. One 7-inch square I think would have been enough instead of all of these like little ones. Uh-oh, I'm starting to get mad. Where's my leftover fabric? Okay. You need the shape flex on that, right? But we could have just done like one here, one here, one here. Okay, I'm not going to complain. Just do it, Jeannie. Lay it down. Just hit start. Cheryl, I don't know when the last time you bought a dryer was, but did I just... Okay, so I can see the stitch line. It didn't stitch. My thing came... Oh, look it. I'm going to change my needle. I was just thinking when I was stitching earlier that I couldn't remember the last time I changed my needle. Let's go ahead and change it. If I can find my needles. What is this? Top stitch. I'm going 80-12 microtext. I would like my anti-glue, especially because we're collaging. But I don't know where they are. I don't know where my needle pack is. I'm still learning my way around my room. Let me look in here. Okay, I'm just going to go 80-12. My needles of choice, when I am embroidering, I like 7511 anti-glue needles. That's my favorite needle of choice. My all-round favorite needle of choice is Microtex 80-12 needles. I'm going to just throw this away. And so sometimes I just embroider with these two. I feel like in doing what we're doing today, an anti-glue needle would be best just because I do use spray and we're going to be collaging, and that steamosine can be a little bit sticky. It's a little sticky. You have a sight window. I'm going to point this out because I know some of you struggle putting your needle in and stuff. Can you see it? Let me see. Am I not up high enough? Yes, there you go. You can kind of see it. I know it's going to be a little bit hard. There's a sight window. There's like a little metal stop right there. It looks like a little circle. And you can see the top of my needle up there. It's hard to see. But just make sure your needle's all the way up right to that round little stop. You should hand tighten, and then you should always use a screwdriver to tighten it a little bit more. Don't crank it, just a little bit of a turn. And because if you don't do that, it's going to shake out, and it's going to shake out while you're embroidering or sewing, and it scares you, scares me. All right. I can kind of see it. I'm just going to lay this down and it should cover the whole thing. Hopefully. All right. Tack down. What I like about the KB stabilizer, because we carry... we've always carried oh, I had so much more room. I couldn't really see it. But we always carried Baby Lock and OESD. But OESD doesn't carry the 12-inch, and I love 12-inch stabilizer. Like if I had to choose any size that I use the most, it's the 12-inch because it's perfect for the 5x7, and then it's perfect for the 8x12 or the 8x8. If I'm doing 9.5 by 9.5 inch stuff, I like 15-inch. That's what OESD carries. And then I like the 20-inch sometimes. And then I like the 10-inch that OESD has for my my 6x10. So I just like the right stabilizer for the right hoop. We're gonna go ahead and trim this now. And I had room down here. Kimberbell stabilizer's popular, and they have the 12-inch. So we're gonna just bring in the Kimberbell stuff. I feel like there's one company that makes all the stabilizer. I don't know this, but I'm just saying. And then they all just sell the same stuff. But some of it's a little bit different from manufacturer to manufacturer. But I'd be willing to bet that there's like a handful of people that make the stabilizer, and then all the distributors get it from them. Here we go. Why? Okay. Now it says trim it close to the stitch line, which we just did. Stitch the shape 3 decorative outline, and that's going to be right here, decorative outline. So go ahead and just hit start. And you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at that one up there going, I don't think that's stitched. I think my thread coiled and I wasn't paying attention. I'm going to have to go back and stitch that. I'll show you how easy it is to get there. I didn't like the sound of that. I'm going to pull my thread down. Just make sure everything looks good. Looks fine. Shannon, do you buy pictures for all of them? Am I like the worst mom out there? We don't get them all. I'm like, see that proof? That's your picture for the year. We take lots of other pictures. Gloria, you are way smarter than me. I should have kept mine long and narrow, and I wasn't thinking. I'm trying to look at their... Ah, Joyce, that's smart. He cut several pieces of cardboard for you. I should do that. So I just have them waiting. Joanne, I am missing... I have a tub of Kimberbell fabric. Where can it go? Like, seriously, where can it go? It was a big tub, and I haven't been able to find it since I rearranged. Like, maybe I added it in somewhere. Okay, what happens if you thought you were stitching and you weren't stitching and you need to go back? Again, this is going to go back to, that's on the step we're at. Shows you right here, that was the decorative stitch. Tack down, placement. I needed to do that. And I need to start it in a little bit. There's that little green cursor. I'm just going to hit +10s. And you can kind of see where I'm at right there. Let's hit some +10s more. Sorry, you're going to have to wait for me to catch up a little bit. There we go. I'll just start it right there. It must have been raveling there, and then it broke, and I didn't know. Oh, so Betty, for this design, there's going to be some collaging, and you can decide whether or not you want to do it. It's going to take a little bit more time. We're going to be cutting out some amoebas. Here, let me show you. So these apples here, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put you know, fusible web on the back of your pieces, and then you're going to cut out these random shapes. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay them down and create that collaged apple. Do you see that? And then you trim around the edge. But it does look really, really cute when you're done. If you don't want to collage, you can just put one big piece down all at once. We'll collage, and then you can decide what you want. You can decide what you want to do. All right, and now I have to skip ahead because we've already done those parts. And there's that. That was the tack down. Now we're going to do one last piece. We know where that's going to go. I'm going to skip that and I'm just going to do the tack down. Orange is tack down. I need to spray this. Oh, it's already sprayed. And let me look at color. I'm guessing it's going to want linen. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my lime. Look how close I am to using this up. Yes. I use like 1-up. I probably buy like 10 a month. And then I use like 1-up every 6 months. So you do the math. Okay, we're just going to lay this down. Make sure you do it on the right side, because remember, one side has the shape flex on it, and you don't want it to be that side. So this is the tack down. I skipped the placement. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. Then we're going to trim it, and then you're going to do the decorative outline. And then we're done. That was it. Should we do one more? It's 2:41. Let's do one more of these just to get out of the way, right? Plus, you're probably on the next one anyways because I fell behind. We're going to trim this, and then I can look at some of your messages. I was thinking about, like, what am I going to do when I go and do my treatments? I'm like, can I bring a sewing machine with me? I was like, can I piece? Is there some way I could bring, like, a little sewing machine and do some piecing? Can I set up, like, a little iron? Because there's, like, all this. I'm like, what can I do? I knit, so I was thinking maybe I could bring knitting with me. What brand of needles do you use? I use all different brands. You're gonna see that some of them, like, these are Schmetz, and I love Schmetz needles. I love Oregon needles. The Madeira anti-glue needles that we used to sell were Oregon needles. It said Oregon on it. So what we're selling now is we're selling, like, the Oregon branded Oregon needles, but they were the exact same. There's also, like, the best premium needles. I think that's what they're called. Those are Oregon needles too, because it says Oregon needles on it. So I like Class A. Class A has gone through some changes. There was Class A like years back, and then the recent Class A was made in Japan. I mean, those were all great needles too. I'm not crazy about Singer needles. You know, those I'm not crazy about. And last step. Do we have to do this last step? We have trouble talking and thinking at the same time. Remove the block from the hoop. So we're doing step number 12. Step number 13. Stitch the trimming guide. Yes, you are doing this step. So just go ahead and hit start. Your fabric may have pulled a little bit, so it's just going to stitch out a little trimming guide for you. I'm trying to read your notes. A dime needle inserter, but it doesn't work on the multi-needle. Darn. You're going to have to show it to me, Joanne, because if it works on the regular sit-down, it should work on your 10 needle. Is your needle threader bent on the 10 needle? What's going on? Rolo, don't ever feel far behind. You're fine. I'm far behind. We can be far behind together. All right, I'm going to rehoop and do this same thing all over again. That was kind of fun. Fun and easy. Yeah. I should be able to whip those out. We're actually, I don't know if you knew this, but Patrick turned 50 on the 27th of last month. We had a lot of stuff going on, so we didn't celebrate, the poor guy. His mom's been dying to take us out and celebrate, and plus she wants to celebrate the twins going away, and so we're going to dinner tonight, because I was thinking, ooh, I just wish I could take my machine everywhere. I love my machine. Too bad it wasn't like a cartoon where you could just fold it up super small and then it just like popped out of the box and you could just take it wherever you wanted, right? Like it could be, was that like Amazing Beasts, and then he had like the suitcase and... Okay, there we go. Okay, remember, make sure it lays nice and flat. I like to take my fabric and pull inward. I don't think I'm going to have to tighten it anymore because it was nice and tight from before. And I'm going to do another one of these. That was fun. Low stress. It's already on my screen. We're going to go ahead and I need to spray another grouping of fabric. And let's go ahead and say okay. Oh, actually I want that. I want that screen. And I have linen in there, but you get the picture. And let me grab one of everything. One batting, one background. I wonder if you did, how big is this design? 5.5? You could probably do like your 8x12 or a 7x12 hoop. I have a 7x12 hoop. I don't use it much, but maybe like something like this would be fun. Or there's the snap hoop, right? The 7x14. So many options. All right, I'm gonna put this in first. Let me spray my background fabric and my batting. Here's my spray tent. So make sure you spray the bumpy side. You want bumpy side down. That's the one that's a little bit nubbier. Spray. We've been doing this big project at our house, and you've heard me mention my friend Sage. She is a wonderful gardener. She's everything I wish I could be, but I'm not. Part of it is I am sure I could be a wonderful gardener, but I don't like gardening. I'm so jealous of all of you that enjoy that. I want to garden. I want my house to look like Sunset Magazine, but when it comes down to it, I don't want to garden. And Patrick, he's so funny. He says he's going to garden. He said he loves to garden, but I've never seen him garden. Okay, you're going to skip ahead until you do the tack down for the fabric. I'm going to change out my thread too. I'm going to put the navy back in because I still have the linen. So she's saving my plants. So they took them off our patio, and I can keep things alive that are on a drip. That's the only thing I can do. And so they took all the stuff off the patio, and it's kind of been like in the wood chips behind the house. I honestly, we haven't watered anything this summer. I don't know how those plants are alive, but some of them are still alive. And so Sage took them, and she put them in smaller pots. She's like, I'm gonna bring these all back to life for you. She's so good to me. Well, Poppy thought it was a good idea to take the plant that she was replanting, ripped it out of the planter. Momo and she played tug of war with it, and now it's dead. So, but we got the other ones in her car before she could get to them. Oh my God, guess what? I forgot my quilting. I'm just realizing it. That's okay. We're going to use the projector. This will be a perfect little life lesson. I'm not going to forget it this time, but we have to do the quilting at the very end Don't worry about it. Skip that step. And then I'm going to show you how to either use your camera or use your projector. I just looked at my screen and went, oh no, I forgot. So do you want to get in that piping class, Rolo, and you couldn't? Was it full? Because we'll see if everyone's going to be there. A lot of people watch later. And you don't need to take that class. You've got your serger. Unless you want to. It's a good skill. Sometimes the serger is not the right tool to put your piping in. Sometimes you want to do it on the sewing machine. Ugh. I've been spraying a lot more heavy-handed because I don't know. I just have been. Not by choice. On the Isocore thread, do you carry the big spools of the white? I usually have them in the store, and I carry, I usually have the 0015, which is the white, and I carry the 0017, I think that's paper white, and then 0010. I don't carry the 0003, but I normally have them. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. But I can check for you. And I carry the black too. I usually carry the black. I'm sold out of black right now, but I just reordered. Okay, trim. We're going to do the decorative stitch. We're not going to forget the quilting. Oh, hope you're not watching and you pulled it out with me. But we're going to re-hoop. And because we have room in our hoop, we have room left and right and up and down, it's going to be a piece of cake. And we're going to add that. And then you're going to see why the camera's so great. Or the projector. Oh, Shannon, I hope everything's okay. But we go through phases, right? Okay, I'm not the only mom who doesn't get school pictures. That's not... Okay, I feel better now. Like, I'm not going to win Mom of the Year. Yay, Gloria. Yeah, and hopefully, Gloria, you can do one of these projects with us. I don't know if you're working on this with us or you're just watching and you can pick up some tips or tricks and meet some nice people here at the same time. Shannon, regarding Everett's cottage, it is done being stitched. I finished stitching it. Look, everything's been really messy in here. Do you see it hanging off of my 10 needle right there? That's the last couple of blocks of Everett's cottage. So it's done. It's just not pressed and sewn together. Why? Because that is not fun. Stitching is fun. I need to figure it out. I need to get that stuff done. I mean, I could sit down. It probably takes me, I'd say it probably will take me 2 hours to like press everything, trim everything, sew it all together. Maybe longer than that. I just haven't done it. And I also wanted to film it for people that haven't done. If you haven't done a tiling seam before, I wanted to film it for you too. That always takes me a little extra time. Okay, you're laying this piece down. Reach into your spray tent, pull it out. And if you're a taper, stay a taper. There's nothing wrong with taping. I feel like spraying's easier. Miss Linda Lancaster, I am going to learn software at some point. Just not today. I don't know where I am with the questions. You were working on, Sarah, you're working on, they need a good cardinal tiling. I used to do so much Anita Good. I love Anita Good. Those were like my first. Those were the first embroideries I did, like fairy tales. That was my first embroidered quilt, and to this day, it's probably maybe my favorite. I just love that one. It might be my favorite. I just love the fabrics I picked, and it's so sweet. And when my kids have kids someday, then I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, there's more than one grandchild, but who knows? I'll settle for one, especially these days where they don't want to have kids. I'll take one. Be happy with that. And then I have I have nursery rhymes too, and that one is super cute. Yeah, Sarah, I feel the same way about pictures. Like, we have so many great pictures, and they got their yearbooks, so they're going to be able to look at their yearbooks, and like, I just think about my pictures, I never look at them, so, and my kids didn't care. Shannon, I hope you feel better too. You got the pattern kit in class for the Tupelo bag, but no CD. There's no CD. I think that's just a paper CD. Karen, we need to, I think that's too long for you now to be, so we're doing placement line for the centerpiece, for the big center wasteful piece. That's too long for you not to be stitching. We have to figure something out. Like, I have to let you know if we get, like, something amazing. Deal of the century. Don't you miss it? Or, you know, sometimes it's like a self-imposed, when you're not allowed to do something, I think is okay too. And it forces you to do other things. Like, I might not be able to sew when I go. I keep thinking, how can I bring my sewing machine? But if I can't bring my sewing machine, then I'm gonna get out my knitting, which I'm really excited about. I haven't knit in like years. Just with the store being so busy, I took all my knitting and I just put it away in a box. And I'm gonna pull it out, and I talked to my friend Christy, and we're gonna go to Jimmy Bean. I'm gonna buy like the most beautiful yarn, which I haven't bought a skein of yarn in so long, and a pattern, and maybe I'll knit. Maybe I'll take a nap. Maybe I'll read a book. All things I love to do that I haven't done in a long time. Maybe I'll join a book club. My friends are all in a book club, and I didn't join because I was too busy. Oh, Patrick's home. My love. There we go. I'm going to skip the next step. Remember, oh wait, no, I'm not skipping the next step. This is the decorative stitch, but I'm going to skip the placement line for the little white piece that goes up there, and then we're going to be done with this one, except we have, ooh. Did you see that? It was just caught for some reason. I'm going to take a peek underneath here. Because that to me is really weird. I just want to make sure everything looks good on the underside. I'm going to reset my bobbin. Check the upper. Sometimes stuff gets caught. Sometimes your bobbin gets caught. And my stitch doesn't look anywhere close to where it should be. If you look at this, it was stitching up here, and it could have been just that the fabric got caught. my first inclination, turn the machine off and back on again, just to make sure nothing is out of calibration. And it will resume. So I'm going to turn that back on again. This goes against every fiber of my being, but I'm putting this in the trash can. Carriage is going to move. And then I'll go back to the beginning of that step. Is it okay to recall and resume? And I want to go to the beginning of that, so I'm going to go here, back. And then it goes to the very beginning of that step, because I was into that step a little bit. Fluff your fabric in the back, make sure nothing is turned under. And I'm going to hit start. That was Momo outside my door demanding to come in. Okay, that's better. I don't know what happened, but it's fixed. Do you have to do the quilting? You absolutely do not have to do the quilting. Before Kimberbell started selling all the quilting designs, I used to just use IQ Designer, and I would add the quilting into all the dead areas. I want to show you something because I'm going to do a class. I don't know when. Okay, come in. No barking. So, this was, I just thought this would be fun. We're going to revisit this. This is Kimberbell Club, and I can't remember which year it was, but this is Home is Where You Hang Your Heart. And what I really want to do is I want to do this class where we do the embroidery, we do the piecing, and then we're going to do the quilting. And so, you know, you're not always going to have a quilting design. You maybe don't want to quilt over this, so we'll do this in an IQ Designer, and then we'll add the stippling. I'll show you how to stipple around something. And we'll do the auto split quilt sashing, because this is like the perfect project for that. That is in the cooker. Plus, it's like, it was a fun project. I just feel like there's so much we can learn there, and so many of you have IQ Designer and Design Center. You haven't been using it, and you don't have to just always use clear blue tiles or purchase designs. You have so many designs on your machine that we can use. Okay, I'm skipping the next step because it's turquoise, and that's a placement. We don't need that. We're going to do the tack down. My piece is already sprayed. Let me grab it. I'm going to lay it down. And if you ask me a question and I haven't answered it, just ask it again, because the chat window, everything's moving pretty fast. Ooh. Don't you think, Angela, don't you think that would be... Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to stitch over that with the linen, because that, like, decorative stitch doesn't always cover everything. I forgot to change out to my linen. I'm going to do that right now. I can find it. Did I drop it? Went into Outlook on the floor. Yes, I dropped it. That was just a fun one. I'm just going to pick out fabrics too. I can't wait for the new Kimberbell fabrics to drop. Because we've been using these same fabrics for a while now. So they have like really great new colors. I'm going to go, that goes to the back of that. It's still orange, so we know it's the beginning of this. I'm just hoping it's going to cover over that green a little bit, and then I'll do the decorative stitch over it. Okay, there we go. I would do that class. Oh, Asuli, have you done your IQ Designer class? Because I think we have that coming up. That's a good class too. I like to teach that one. So as long as I feel okay, I'm going to be teaching that one. I don't know if you've taken it already. But what we do is we take in we scan an image. So we use your scanner. And then we bring that same image in USB. So you can forego the scanner. You don't even have to use the scanner if you don't want. And then we apply all sorts of line properties and fill properties. Patiently waiting on Brother Upgrade for this Stellaire. I think we're going to be able to talk about that. I think, what, the 13th? Cindy, I think that's when we talk about it. Vicky, that class will be virtual. Like this one, we're talking about this. Best of Kimberbell. And then we'll add stippling, and then we'll do auto split quilt sashing. And if you don't have that feature on your machine, don't worry about it. You can join us for whatever features you do have. Oh, registration marks. Don't forget those. This is where we cut, and then we're going to add the quilting. And I'm going to go back and rehoop the other one, and we'll add the quilting to that, and then we'll be done. We're going to, then we'll do one of the corner pieces, the triangular box.